All right, welcome everyone to Training Tuesday in Coach Connect Hub. We are May 28th, 2024, and the long anticipated Strengths Mastery for Coaching with Kerri Karel. Kerri, take it away, and I'm excited to hear from you, Kerri.
All right, thank you, Sam. So as Sam said, my name is Kerri Karel, and I'm a Strengths Champion Certified Coach. And we're going to be talking about what all that means and looks like today. So today we're going to be talking about how we take a raw talent, which I'll describe in a second, and turn it into a refined strength, what that process looks like. So as we begin, let me give you a little bit of information about the Clifton Strengths Assessment, which is the tool that I use. So when I talk about strengths today, this is specifically what I'm talking about. So Clifton Strengths was created by Don Clifton. He was kind of the father of the strengths-based development movement, and he empowered millions to be their best self. If you've ever heard of the Gallup organization, Gallup polls, Strengths Finder, or Clifton Strengths Assessment Tool is owned by Gallup. So Don Clifton has always been associated with the Gallup organization. So by completing that online talent assessment, which formerly used to be called Strengths Finder and is now called Clifton Strengths, during that assessment, you'll discover what you naturally do best, what your innate talents are. And the assessment will provide personalized results and reports that can help you maximize your potential. Okay, so just a little about me. I am a coach and consultant. I've been coaching for 17 years. I'm a Strengths Champion certified coach, and I draw from my 30 plus years in business experience and my strengths. I use both of those things. I combine those to really help primarily small business owners who are new entrepreneurs who get into business and say, oh my goodness, I quit my job to do X. Now what do? I don't know what to do. So I come alongside those small business owners and help coach them through their business. And one of the ways I do that is I help them leverage their strengths to really maximize their potential within their own business. So, okay. So our roadmap today, there are 8 points that we're going to be talking about. And this presentation will be available later. So take notes if you'd like, but some of these slides are a little dense in terms of words. So you don't have to write it all down because we can provide you with a copy of it. But as we start, the one thing we want to do is understand the difference between a raw talent and a refined strength. So the definition of a raw talent is innate patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior. To put adjectives on them, they're unrefined, sort of rough around the edges, they're untested. Sometimes they could also be called undeveloped gifts, our talents and our gifts. And a strength is a talent that has been productively applied and enhanced through knowledge, skills, and experience. Practice, 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 right? So your strengths plus your passion can truly equal something incredible when we marry those two together. So here's a coaching strategy in terms of this point number one of understanding raw talent versus refined strengths. So you can use an assessment like the Clifton Strengths. There are other assessment tools out there as well to help clients identify what their top talents are. And you can facilitate discussions with your clients to help them distinguish between their raw talents and their refined strengths. We're going to dig a little deeper into that. But before we do that, consider this. Consider you're given a gift and you say, oh, this is a beautiful package. Thank you so much for this gift. And then you set it on the table and you never open it. An unwrapped gift is never going to achieve its intended purpose. It's never going to reach its full potential, and it's not ever going to be seen either. So we have to unwrap it and then use our gifts. Number two is awareness and identification. Self-awareness is a key element. If you don't have self-awareness, you're not going to make it very far as a business owner anyway, but specifically talking about your strengths and your talents, you have to be aware of what they are and you have to know how to identify them, right? If you don't know where you are, you can't get where you want to go. So one way you can do that is to reflect on past experiences. So where have you seen your top talents once you get your assessment back from Clifton Strengths, or you just have identified things you know you're good at, that you've got some talent in? Where have you seen those show up in your life in the past? Where have you seen them shown up in your professional life? Where have you seen them show up in your personal life? And then you can further take a look at those and go, okay, I saw it show up in this situation. And then ask yourself, was it in its raw form or was it more refined? An example of raw versus refined would be one of my top 5 Clifton strengths is achiever. That's my number 1. And achiever, we like lists. We like to check things off of lists. So in its raw form, it would be just checking anything off the list. I completed something. The refined version of achiever is I've checked the right things off the list. I've checked the things off the list that will move my business forward, that will move this project forward, or whatever the case may be. Okay, here's a coaching strategy for awareness and identification. You can guide your clients through reflective exercises to identify how their top talents have manifested in those past experiences. You can even try storytelling techniques to help clients recognize the value and the potential of their talents. All right, number 3 is developing a growth mindset. As coaches, many of us do this, right? We coach and guide our clients in developing, changing their mindset, shifting it from whatever it was to where they want to go. Willingness to change any type of mindset is a key element. You have to have willingness in your client before they're going to move forward, or within yourself if you want to change your own mindset. And you have to do the work if you want to turn your talents into strengths. It takes work, but it all starts with that mindset shift. You have to make the decision, I want to do this. And embrace your challenges. You know, every business challenge that we all have as small business owners is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow if we choose to look at it that way and take those opportunities. I know many small business owners who don't view their challenges with that framework. And most of the times they don't learn anything from those challenges or grow from them because they're not looking at it as an opportunity to do so. All right. So for your clients, you can encourage them, of course, to adopt that growth mindset. You can help them create achievable goals through mindset shifting, provide resources such as articles, videos, benefits of growth mindset, and how to discuss and implement that mindset into their daily life. Okay, number 4, practice. Practice with intention. Our talents will never become refined strengths if we don't practice, because if you remember, the definition of a strength is experience, knowledge, and action applied to that talent. That's how they grow strong. It's just like a muscle, right? If you want to exercise the muscle, you have to work out. You have to exercise that muscle if you want to get the results from it. The more you practice, the more refined your gifts and talents will become. So here's a challenge for you, the 5x5 challenge. Take your top 5 Clifton strengths, or your top 5 strengths, gifts, talents that you have identified, and intentionally practice 1 per week for 5 weeks. And that's your 5x5 challenge. I really love the image of the Rubik's Cube there, because if you think about it, with your gifts and talents, you want to, with the 5x5 challenge, you'll be practicing them one at a time. but really you want to sort of incorporate all of those within your business, within your life, right? And it's going to become a beautiful mixture once it's all jumbled up and you start playing with the Rubik's Cube of when you're going to apply your strength into what situation, what that looks like, how you're going to practice it, all those sorts of things. So I thought that was a really good analogy. So with your clients, help your clients, encourage them to develop a practice plan, a plan that includes regular focused activities that are aimed at refining those talents. You can use role-playing simulation to help them practice specific skills related to those talents that they want to practice to refine into strengths. Okay, number 5 in our plan is earnestly seeking feedback. Allowing somebody permission to speak into my life, to speak into my business. I have to give them sort of the emotional permission to do that if I'm going to be open to hearing what they have to say. That's why I said earnestly seeking feedback. We can all seek feedback and say, thank you very much, and then, toss it aside or never give it another thought. But to truly listen to what someone is trying to speak into my business or my life or whatever, if I've given them permission to do so, it can be such a powerful tool for growth and to help refine those talents to turn into strengths. The wisdom and the insight from someone you trust can take you so much farther than you can go just by yourself. So a strategy for coaches is help your clients, encourage your clients to create a feedback network, help them identify key individuals within their business, within their life, within their sphere of influence, where they can seek that constructive feedback, and teach them how to effectively use feedback to improve. And if that's something as a coach that you struggle with, I would encourage you to seek out ways to effectively use feedback to improve your own business and your own personal and professional development. And a reminder to you coaches out there and just business owners in general, you are the wise sage your clients need. They came to you because you offered them something that they needed, something that they were lacking. So use and leverage your strengths to help them master their strengths. Okay, 6 is leveraging your strengths. Leveraging is also a key element. Encourage you really to identify different ways that you can leverage your strengths in different contexts, because it's all about context, right? And how you're going to, we approach clients differently than we approach people in our personal life. We approach some clients differently than we approach others because they hear things differently, right? So identify the different contexts in which you can leverage and apply your strengths with your clients, different business situations, different personal life situations, your friend groups, your family groups. You can use your strengths in all of those areas, not just within the business area. So, and don't forget to record your successes and your growth opportunities within these different contexts. If you think back, you have an opportunity in a certain context to use one of your strengths and really leverage it to help in the situation, whatever the situation is, acknowledge that success. And also acknowledge and make note of things you could have done better, not to get out that hammer or that bat to beat yourself over the head, but instead an opportunity to grow the next time you're in a similar situation to that. So one tool that you can use to help your clients leverage their strengths is, think up a case study that's applicable to them and their business and the way you understand what your client's business is, and help them figure out how they could use their strengths and leverage their strengths in those new contexts or in the context of the case study that you have provided for them. And, open up a dialogue with them, a discussion on how to adopt their strengths and adapt their strengths to different environments and challenges that they might have. Okay, number 7 is understanding and overcoming obstacles. Clearing roadblocks is definitely a key element for success, whether you're talking about strengths or anything else in our business, right? We have to get the roadblocks out of the way. And we have roadblocks that will be in the way when we want to move from raw to refined, but we'll also have roadblocks that are within our businesses that we can use our strengths, leverage our strengths to move those roadblocks out of the way. So it's sort of double-edged here. But a mindset is part of removing those roadblocks. Again, it goes back to, if you're going to accomplish something, you have to have your mind set towards it. Think mindset. Where is my mind set? My mind is set towards expanding the gifts and talents that I have and refining them to turn them into strengths. So ask yourself, what will I really gain by understanding my talents and refining them into strengths? And, you know, one of the roadblocks within that is I have too many other things to think about. I have too many other things going on. This stuff doesn't matter. It's, you know, it's not going to get me the next sale, or it's not going to help this client. And I would argue just the opposite. It really helps you create that solid foundation that you can move your business further and farther, and you can help your clients move their business further and farther by really understanding and leaning into what your gifts and talents are. If we all operated within our giftedness, within our strengths, the world would be a much better place. You know, we all have things that we don't like to do, and you can use your strengths to help you overcome and still get the things done that you have to get done that you don't like to do. We all have things we don't like to do, and sometimes, in the immortal words of Nike, we just do it, right? We just have to do it anyway. So practice is also part of understanding and overcoming your obstacles. Some of the roadblocks that can be in the way with that is trying to work on my strengths with clients will take away from how I serve them. And again, I think it's just the opposite. I think it will enhance the way that you serve them. By understanding your strengths, I think you can better serve your clients, whether you're a coach or a business owner or any other type of business as well. If you know what your strengths are, you can better serve your clients. And if you help them know what their strengths are, if you're a coach, you're absolutely serving them better, because they will become better business owners. They will gain confidence that some of them may not have to start with. So there's many, many benefits to this. The road to progress is always going to be paved and littered with roadblocks. Use your accountability partner or your coach. You know, many of us coaches have a coach, so use your coach to create strategies to knock down those roadblocks and get them out of the way. Okay, you can help your clients identify common obstacles that they might face that are specific to them and help them develop strategies to overcome those obstacles. As a coach, you're in a better position to help your client do that than almost anyone. Offer different techniques that might help them, given their particular situation, to help solve those problems and overcome those obstacles. Okay, the last one, number 8, is an action plan. A plan without a goal, or it's the other way around. You'll see my slide in a second. A goal without a plan is just a wish. You have to have a plan. So the plan for strengths refinement is, first of all, you got to know what your strengths are, right? You have to identify what your top 5 strengths are, which are innate talents that is applied with practice, experience, and knowledge. That's how they become a strength. So reflect on past. So that's number 1, is identifying them. Reflect on your past experiences where you can clearly see your talents, your strengths in action. Number 3 on our plan is to start and finish the 5x5 challenge. You got to follow through with it and get some practice with all 5 of your top 5 strengths. look for ways to leverage your strengths in different ways, and identify a coach, a mentor, a peer, someone that you've given permission to speak into your life, to speak into your business, to stay accountable. And don't forget to celebrate your progress and successes along the way. And if you implement that plan, I guarantee that you will have better tools to leverage your gifts, your talents, your strengths to move your business farther and define success, whatever success looks like for you. So a coaching strategy with that is if you're a coach, chances are you're already working on a plan with your clients, right? You're taking them through a plan. You're guiding them through something that you want them to go through. So just incorporate their talents, incorporate turning their talents into strengths as a key element of that plan. It doesn't have to be a different plan. It doesn't have to be a new plan. It's just one key element of the plan you're already helping your clients to implement. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a Strengths Champion certified coach. I use my 30 plus years of business experience and 17 years of coaching and consulting experience to help my clients. And they typically walk away with a deep understanding of what their strengths are, the power of those strengths, and the pitfalls, because like anything else in life, I'm not going to call it a downside to a strength, but there's pitfalls, there's things we need to look out for when we have certain strengths. For example, achiever is my top strength. Sometimes achievers can get so focused on the goal and on what they're doing that they leave the people in their life or in their business behind because they're so focused on the activity, the goal, the checking off of the list, for example. Clients also get achievable strategies that they can use to leverage their strengths within their business, and they get practical results if they create a strategic plan and they follow the plan. Chances are they're going to see some practical results as a result of that. So for you coaches in the room, there's some potential collaboration opportunities. Your own personal development, I can help you identify what your innate talents are and help you refine them into strengths. And something new that I've started is helping you with your client's personal development. 2 joint sessions between you and your client. Your client pays for them. You get to join because you're your client's coach. And we'll identify what your client's top strengths are, top talents are, and help them with a roadmap to achieve turning them into strengths. And then you'll have that roadmap, so then you can help come alongside your client and encourage them and keep them accountable. So with that, that is the end of my slides, and we are going to open it up for questions and comments, thoughts.